There is a voice inside you that criticizes before you've even taken a breath. It whispers, "Not enough," before you've even tried. It tells you to do more, be more, prove more, as if your worth depends on never stopping. And carrying that voice day after day is exhausting. There's a quote from Brené Brown that I often return to. She says, "Talk to yourself as you would to someone you love." Simple words, but perhaps the hardest practice of all. Because for many of us, the voice inside is not loving. It's relentless. It's judgmental. It's harsh. And though it speaks in our own tone, it rarely speaks the truth. I often think of this inner voice as a kind of witness, one that watches every move you make, every mistake, every hesitation. And this witness can be harsh. It learned to distort what it saw. It magnifies flaws, repeats shame, diminishes your efforts. It tells you stories about yourself that keep you small, fearful, and hidden. But there is another way of seeing, another witness inside you. A compassionate mirror. This mirror doesn't scold, it doesn't rush, it doesn't compare. It reflects you back to yourself gently, truthfully, tenderly. It says, "I see your effort. I see your longing. I see your humanity, and I will not turn away." Notice how differently these two voices sound within you. The harsh witness says, "You failed again." The compassionate mirror says, "You tried and you are still learning. That is enough." The harsh witness says, "You're too much." The compassionate mirror says, "Your depth is your gift. Your fullness is a blessing." The harsh witness says, "You are not enough." The compassionate mirror says, "You are whole, even here, even now." As you hear these words, notice what shifts in your body. One voice constricts, the other softens. One voice demands, the other allows. One voice pulls you away from yourself, the other welcomes you home. To embody this shift, I invite you into a practice, not digital, not typed. Take a pencil and paper, something you can feel in your hand, something slower, something that lets your body be part of the process. At the top of the page, write a phrase the harsh voice says to you often. Maybe it's, "I'll never get it right," or "I don't belong," or "I should be further along by now," or "I don't matter." Write it down, then pause. Notice how it feels in your chest, in your shoulders, in your breath. For just a moment, let yourself feel the weight of that voice. Next, underneath it, write a response, one from the voice of the compassionate mirror. Write to yourself as you would to a beloved friend. Something like, "You are learning, and learning takes time. You already belong here. You are not late to your own life. You matter. Then pause again. Notice what shifts in your body as you read those words back to yourself. Repeat this with a few phrases. Let the page become a dialogue between your harsh witness and your compassionate self, between shame and love, between contraction and softening. Keep returning to your body as you write. Which voice makes your breath shallow? Which voice makes your shoulders relax? Which voice closes your chest and which opens it? This is how you train not only your mind, but your body to recognize the difference. This is how you begin to choose which voice you trust. In a recent reflection, I discussed how powerful your inner voice can be. We saw how the way you speak to yourself shapes your entire experience of the world. But noticing is only the beginning. Today we've gone deeper because it's not just about hearing that voice. It's about transforming the witness. It's about shifting from judgment to compassion, from a harsh inner critic to a loving inner mirror. I'll remind you, you are not broken for having a harsh inner voice. That voice was learned. It was inherited. It was once a strategy to keep you safe, but it does not need to rule you anymore. May you learn to speak to yourself as you would to someone you love. May you discover the strength of a compassionate mirror within you. May your inner voice become a source of care, not judgment. And may you remember the way you speak to yourself is not just a reflection of love. It is love itself, calling you home. To continue exploring this work, consider my new workshop, Unburdening from Shame. It is a place to release the weight of old scripts, to connect with your compassionate side, and to finally come home to yourself. I hope you'll join me. I leave you with much love and gratitude.